Carson. Thanks for taking the time today. We'll get right to it here. We'll start with Tim McManus and then Jeff McClain.
What's up, Carson?
How we doing?
Much. We were talking to Doug earlier. He was saying that he was really impressed with what he's seen out of you so far during camp, and that he noted that you've been coaching up the younger players. Curious what some of the points of emphasis were for you this offseason to become an even better version of yourself.
Yeah, I mean, kind of like you talked about. I mean, we got a handful of younger guys, especially at the receiver position, and just trying to not only get better personally, but to make everyone around me better. And that's more than just physical things on the field, but, that's the mental side of things and understanding the whys behind, why we do things or how we run certain routes or certain concepts, and just trying to make sure everyone's on the same page so that they can, think and react and respond the same way I see certain plays and certain things. And so that's been the fun part of it. Obviously, we've been limited this offseason in actually getting to do that. So when we are on the field or we are in these meeting rooms, being able to have those conversations and really, talk through it has been a lot of fun.
We'll go Jeff McClain and then Zach Berman.
Carson, obviously you have two of the better tight ends in the NFL. One ascending and entering his third year, and one who's still elite, I think entering his eighth. How do you handle that dynamic when you really – there's sometimes you can go two tight end sets, but there's a lot of times that you can't. How do you handle that dynamic in terms of spreading that ball around to both and keeping both of them happy?
Yeah, I mean, both those two guys are studs. Obviously, Ertz's track record is pretty impressive. What he's been able to do year after year. Love that guy to death. I mean, he's always open. He's always open, and Dallas brings a unique skill set as well, and he's a stud in his own right. And so, like you said, I mean, we can do a lot of things with both of them on the field and create mismatches. If they want to put a linebacker on one of them or a safety on the other, we can explore the mismatches and exploit them as well. And so as far as keeping them happy, that's one thing that's really good about both of their personalities is they both just want to win. They want to win so badly. So if one week, Dallas is getting more balls or one week Ertz is getting more balls, as long as we're winning, we're all on the same page. And so I think the same thing goes for our entire offense. We got a lot of skilled players from running backs, receivers, tight ends. Spreading the ball around is part of my job. It's part of the coach's jobs and designing a game plan as well. But we're all on the same page, and those guys both do a tremendous job at what they're asked to do.
We'll go Zach Berman and then Dave Zangaro.
Hey, Carson, a non-Eagles question, but I know your opinion is of curiosity on this. Your reaction to North Dakota State moving their season, and what would you do if you were Trey Lance in this situation?
Well, thankfully I'm not. It's a tough situation. Just college football in general is tough. It's tough on a lot of kids. It's tough on the universities, from funding to, what do you do with scholarships next year and guys coming in and guys having extra years. And, I know Trey pretty well. So I'll get a chance to talk to him here probably soon about, kind of what's the situation is. And we've talked along the way as well. So it's not a position that I'd want to be in. I know that, I know those kids, they want to play so badly. And I don't know what the right answer is. I don't have the answers, but in my opinion, they can still get the virus, living their life as a normal, college kid, whether they're at school playing football or, back home. So there's always pros and cons and there's risks involved in everything. But, fortunately with what we have and the resources we have to us in the NFL, we're making the most of it right now. But I don't envy those kids in that position. It's not a fun one by any means, and hopefully they can get some things sorted out for sure.
We'll go Dave Zangaro and then John Clark.
Hey Carson, I know he's not practicing yet, but I saw you get a chance to chat with Alshon on the sideline today. Behind the scenes, how engaged has he been, and what do you expect from him this year when he does get on the field?
Yeah, he's been great behind the scenes. Just interacting with the team, with the young guys and everything, and always just dialed in with offense, and so that when he is, back on that field, that he's, not missing a beat, both mentally and physically. And I'm expecting the same Alshon. When he's back on that field, He's a tough guy to cover. When in doubt, those 50-50 balls, he's usually coming down with them. So I enjoy playing with him. I'm excited for him to get healthy and get back out there. And I don't expect him to be any worse off by any means. I expect him to be ready to go when he steps on that field, both mentally and physically.
John Clark and then Les Bowen.
Hey, Carson, seeing Jalen Reagor out there today, how quickly has he picked everything up? And specifically, what kind of threat can he be to the different levels of the defense out there?
Yeah, having Jalen, has been a lot of fun just to work with him. He is an explosive athlete. You can see that with his route running ability and his down the field presence. And you turn on his highlight tape, you see what he does with the ball in his hand, and that's one thing that we haven't been able to see, obviously, with just practicing going on, nothing live. So I know the what he brings as a threat to the defense, and I know he's really picked up on things really well, and he's always listening, always curious about why we're doing things a certain way or how I saw a certain play. And so that's the type of thing I look for as a veteran, to look for these young guys that truly want to learn. They want to grow. They want to be great. And I see that in him, and I see an extremely bright future with him, and I'm excited to help him become the player that he dreams of being.
We'll go Les Bowen and then Reuben Frank.
Hey, Carson. The young receivers today, it was the first time that you really had them on a field in pads doing stuff. How different was it than the first drill in pads usually of a training camp? How far behind are the young guys in this kind of situation? Do you know as much about them as you would normally know on August 17th?
The short answer would be no. You really don't. There's no way to make up for the reps that you lose on the grass. The spring reps when those guys post-draft get in here, those are valuable. I'm not gonna lie about that or sugarcoat that, but I have seen a willingness and a desire to learn and to learn quick and to understand and process the game in our playbook very quickly. And I've been thoroughly impressed with all those young guys. Like you said, this is the first time we threw pads on, and it was a pretty short practice. So, we got a couple weeks here before we're preparing for Washington, and they're going to be valuable. We got a lot of behind-the-scenes work with walkthroughs and different things, and just getting everyone mentally on the same page. And I feel pretty good about where those guys are at with that. But just getting the reps on the grass, those are going to be extremely important over these next few weeks. But I like what I see out of all those guys.
Rube and then Jimmy Kempski.
Hey, Carson. Doug spoke this morning about being able to, with Miles going into his second year and Boston going into his second year, Corey healthy. Just all those guys are such good receiving backs. Can you just talk about the flexibility it gives you when pretty much all the backs in the rotation, or at least most of them, are such good receivers and can do so many things, line up in different places and all that?
Yeah, I think it's a tremendous advantage for us to have that depth, both as runners, but like you said, to be able to catch screens, go out, line up in empty sets and run routes. And, we're always looking to exploit those mismatches. So if we get a guy that we think, can't cover, we got Miles. Well, if Miles is out, we still got Boston out there, and Corey does a great job as well. So it is definitely a luxury that we have those guys and the ability that they can be as pass catchers. They do a tremendous job picking up blitzes and those sorts of things. So the versatility of those three guys is a big part of our offense. And, to answer your first question, when it comes to Miles, I've been thoroughly impressed with what I've seen. Just this big jump from year one to year two, mentally processing everything and how he sees the game is completely different. And I'm extremely excited to see him out on that field and what he's going to do this year.
Jimmy Kempski and then Howard Eskin.
Hey, Carson. Rube actually just stole a version of my question, but I guess in regard to Miles, he lined up in the slot today. I think he caught a slant pass from you. What kind of pressure does that put on opposing defenses when you have a running back that can split out wide and in the slot and sort of do all those versatile things?
Yeah, I think it definitely puts a lot of strain and stress on the defense to know that, Miles might, take a handoff and run it up the middle, and we might flex him out, and he might run a go, he might run a slant. I mean, the ability that he brings out of the backfield and splitting out at wide receiver in the slot out wide just is a coverage nightmare for defenses. And in my opinion, I think we'll expect to see a lot more zone coverage because people know what he can do as a receiver. So we will see how teams want to play us, but we're always looking to take advantage of those mismatches for sure.
We'll go Howard Eskin and then Mike K.
Carson, first question is the intensity today with pads. Was it better? Was it different? Was it more intense? And the second part of that question, you touched on the wide receivers or the rookies getting reps, but what about you in this different year? And will you get enough reps?
Yeah. The first question with the pads, I thought it was just as intense as normal. I think once we go out on that field, it's football. It's football. There's a lot of protocols in place inside with the virus and everything. And once we're on that field, guys are full speed ahead playing football. And the second we come right back in, masks go on and socially distance, things go right back in place. So, but out on that field, it was definitely intense. The first practice we had, before we put on the pads, you could just feel the competitiveness and just how good it felt to finally get back out there and playing football. It had been a while for a lot of guys. And then your second question, as far as the reps, I feel good where I'm at. I feel good with where this offense is at. Fortunately, we still have a couple weeks to really hone our craft and lock in on some of these details. But I think we're in a fortunate position that we have a lot of carryover within our offense from both players and scheme. And so I think that really puts us in a good position to just really go execute. And I'm liking what I see, but we still got to get better. And it's been 6, 7, 8 months now since we've been on the field, so it is a little different, guys. Maybe knocking a little rust off in those things, but I feel confident that we'll be ready come week 1.
We have time for 2 more here, so we're going to go Mike K and then Bo Wolf.
Hey, Carson. First, I want to ask you, Lane brought up the weight gain. What are you at currently right now? And then also, I know it's very easy to check out the young guys on offense that are doing well, but are there any new guys on defense that have stood out to you during these last couple of weeks or today in general?
Yeah. As far as weight gain, I don't know if I don't think it's that big a deal. I'm about 250 right now. I feel good. Definitely put on some strength and just definitely worked hard this offseason. It was good to get an offseason under my belt where I could really push it in the weight room and everything, just because I was recovering from injuries the last couple of years. So I feel good with where I'm at. And then as far as the defensive side, Darius Slay obviously jumps out at you. He's a difference maker for that defense, and I'm excited that I no longer have to throw him any more interceptions or any of those things, that he's on our team. But he's different. He's definitely different out there. He's quick. He's smart. Recognizes things, and that's something that I can already see just after a couple practices. So he definitely jumps out, and he's going to be a big help to this team.
Last one from Bo here.
Hey, Carson. First of all, does that mean you object to the description that Kelsey and Lane said of dad bod? But second of all, go ahead.
I'll take it. I'm a dad. Dad bod can mean a million different things. So I told Kelsey he could have said dad strength, but dad bod's fine, whatever we want to call it.
That's good. And then you also talked last time about the need to get a little bit more explosive on offense this year. Obviously, there was an effort to add some speed. Do you notice that speed on the field already?
Without a doubt. It's something. Obviously, we went out and got some young guys, and you see the speed, and you see the Reagor and Quez and Hightower and their ability to stress the defenses down the field. Obviously, we all know what Deshaun can do. We saw what he did last year in his one game healthy. So I think all those pieces will definitely make us more explosive and also open up a lot of things underneath for the tight ends, for the running backs, those sorts of things. So I'm excited to see how we kind of use all those different guys in their own respect. But I do think they'll create more explosive plays down the field without a doubt.
Thanks, Carson. Thanks for your time.
Thank you, guys. God bless.